How's it going? This is the hero Greg, and I'm here to record another Premiere Pro video. This time it's on how to edit a time lapse. In the near future, I'm hoping to get a 1080p monitor so that I can actually upload this to YouTube in a bit higher quality. Right now my monitor is just below that, so it doesn't look as nice as I'd like it to, but for the moment I hope that this is fine for most of you. Anyhow, let's get started. So we have a series of photos that I've taken for the time lapse. They're in this folder here. So these images, just delete this folder here. I think I might have another one already. So these images here were all taken at a mall in Toronto, the Eaton Centre Mall. It was taken around Christmas time when there was a lot of people there shopping, and I set up a camera to record a time lapse for that. There are 316 photos, and this will produce a short time-lapse clip. So I have all my photos here in one folder. Just like any project, it's good to have all your stuff in one location, especially if you're going to be editing this video later so that Premiere will know where to look for your files and whatnot. So I'm going to open up Adobe Premiere, and we're going to start a new project. So we're going to call this Mall Time Lapse. I'm going to ignore the other information here. We're going to choose our location. So we're going to head to the desktop, select Time Lapse folder here, and hit OK. Just like the last video, if you had watched that, we're just going to skip this new sequence window by hitting cancel, and now we are ready to import our images to create the time lapse. So if you head up to File, hit Import, you can then see here I've already found the folder on the desktop, and so I'm ready to select the images. So what you do is you click on the first image in the series of images, and down here there's another checkbox for image sequence. So we're going to select that and then hit open. And now you can see there is our series of images here already in our project. So what we do is we create a new item, and by doing that we just drag this down to new item. And our series of images have now appeared in the timeline. So all of these images that I've taken, all 315 or 16 of them, at 29 frames per second will only produce a 10-second long video clip. So it's not very long. You can slow the video down a bit so that it goes a bit, so it's not as quick, and you can enjoy it a bit more. So you can slow it down to 50%, which would make it twice as long. For the purpose of this video, I'm just going to leave it at what it normally is. Because I have all this room on the timeline, I'm just going to zoom in a bit. And here we are. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is add credits to the video. So how we're going to do that is you go over here to Project, you right-click, and you select New Item. Up here you go down, you select Title afterwards. I'm going to name the title Credits, or whatever you like to name it. So here is the video, as you can see. So if you want to carefully place the credits, it gives you a nice backdrop to kind of let you know where it's going to be. I'll just be centering the credits in this video. So how to do that is you select the text tool here, type tool. You then start writing the credits. So I'm going to select, well, first I'll start typing, and then because this font is not what I want, I'm just going to select one that's a bit readable, because the other one is a bunch of shapes, it appears to be. We're going to increase the size, so we're going to select the text, so we're going to increase it to 400. All right, this video was created by the hero Greg. So I'm going to center the text so it looks a bit better. And now I want the text to be centered on the screen as well. So we're going to right click, we're going to go to position and horizontal center. There are a bunch other settings here as well for text that if you'd like to make it look a bit different or fancier, or if you'd like to make it change the opacity so it's a bit more transparent, you can lower that as well. So now it's more see-through. However, the credits I'm going to have playing after this video anyhow, so I'm just going to leave it at 100%. Now, you can have it simply like this at the end of your video, or you can have the credits roll on and off the screen at the end, which is pretty standard. So to do that, we're just going to create some spaces between, or some lines between each of these. As you can see, it's now appearing off screen. And so to get it to actually roll into the video and out of the video, you head up to the top left here and select roll crawl options. We're going to select roll because we want to roll on and off the screen and not crawl left to right. If you want to do that, you select those options here. You then check off start off screen and end off screen. Again, this is a personal preference because I just feel like this is the standard way to do it. You have it starting off screen and having it roll right off. You can also have it ease in and out, but for now I'm just going to leave that as it is. So you select OK, and as you can see, it's sort of already changed how things were a little bit, and you can just exit out here. We've already finished what we need to do. And now we have our credits. So they're available here, and just like with the video or images, we drag it down to new item. And our credits are now here in its own little tab. So we press play. This video was created by the Hero Greg. It's pretty straightforward. So now we select the credits, we cut the credits, and we paste the credits at the end of the video. We want to make sure too it's right up against the end of the clip. So after the video is done, credits will start rolling. And this is fine, although if you want to make it a bit fancier, what you can do too is add a video transition so that this video fades out and the credits sort of nicely appear afterwards. So to do that, we select our clip here that we want to fade out. We head up to the effects tab here. We go down to video transitions and we select what kind of transition we want to do. So for this one, I'm just going to have it dissolve out to the credits. You can select any transition you like, but for this one I'm using dissolved. You can obviously experiment here and see which ones you think would be best for your video. I'm just going to select this one here, cross dissolve. So what you do is you select it and you drag it down just to the video here. Let me just not select it. So drag it down. And there you go. You see how it's now appeared here. And so it automatically will have the credits go at the last second of the clip. So you don't necessarily have to change that if you don't like to, and it'll just fade out the way you like. You can also have the fade start sooner by just dragging it this way. So now halfway through the video approximately, it'll start to fade out, and the delay will be more gradual than if it was just right at the end of the video. It's hard to notice the effect there because the previewer is having a little bit of trouble playing it back because it's such a larger clip. And then also to make it shorter, you can do the opposite and then just drag it inward, and then it won't be as long. So pretty straightforward. I'm just going to leave it at how it was. And now we're ready to publish the video. If you'd like, you can also add some audio as well. I don't have an audio clip ready for this video, but if you'd like to do that, it's not too complicated, and I'll probably create another video in the future explaining how to include audio into video as well. But for now, we're just going to leave it without any. So we're going to now publish the video. To do that, we go to File, select Export Media. As you can see here, we have a preview of our image clip. So what we need to do is we need to select H.264, which is going to create a .mp4 file. We're going to select some preset that resembles this. However, this preset here, Android tablet, etc., it actually seems to be close enough to what we need. So what we're going to do then is just change the settings down here a little bit. So it's already at 29 frames per second. One thing to note as well is that the level here for the video is only at 4 at the moment. And for a time-lapse video, you want it to be much higher because we need it to have a max resolution that's going to be very large if you want to maintain that high quality. So what we're going to do is essentially we're going to create a 4K video, which is going to be high quality, higher quality than 1080p, roughly 4 times that. So just a quick refresher what the levels mean. If you go to the Wikipedia page for H.264, and you scroll down to the levels, you can see here that a 5.1 level will allow you to have a resolution up to 4096, 2100, and it'll show you what frame rate it'll allow you to have for that. So we're going to have it be roughly in this zone because we're at 29 frames per second, and we need it to be somewhere around this range. Now we have a very large video that's going to be larger than 4000 by 2000, so we're actually going to reduce the size a little bit. So our resolution is 5184 by 3456. So we're going to need to reduce this to where it makes sense. So as a guideline, you can see that when we go back to the Wikipedia page, we need it to be, oops, sorry to do this again. So we need it to be within 4000 and 2000. So we already know that the maximum width is going to be around 4000 and 2000. Okay. So and this is our resolution at the moment, 5100 by 3400 approximately. So the next step will be to find a program, or you can also just search the internet to find a calculator that will tell you how to maintain this aspect ratio when you lower the resolution. So what I mean by that is if you Google, and this is what I've found to be, this is what I'm using. If you Google maintain aspect ratio calculator and you select, let's see, which link did I click here? Yeah, I clicked the first link here at andrew.hedges.names aspect ratio calculator. So as you go here, you can select, you can put in the resolution of your video. So this one is 5184 by 3456. I think that's right? Yeah. And we need to lower it to 4000 by 2000 approximately. So if we were to reduce this to 4000, this would change to 2600. And so this part is still too high. We're going to need to reduce the height then to roughly what we had it before. So if we have it at 2000, it'll then make the width 3000. In order to make it as large as possible for this resolution, I believe it can be a bit higher. So I think it might have been 2300 by 3450. So we're going to try this resolution and see if Adobe Premiere will allow it. So 3450. Do we select the higher level? So first we select 5.1 for level, and then width 3450. Oh, we also have to unlink this because otherwise it will not approve. And 2300. Okay, so it doesn't like that. We're gonna need to reduce it a little bit more. It is a bit of trial and error, especially because this is not a 16:9 ratio. So what I'm doing here is I've actually already published this video before, and I'm just going to resort to what was the last resolution I used. It looked like I actually did use the width of 340. This seemed to have worked before when I published the video, so we're just going to try this. So the width is going to be 3450 by 2300. What we just were trying out. Apparently didn't work right away. Oh, that's because our frame rate was too high. So that's why it did not allow us to actually have that resolution. We're going to need to lower the frame rate down to 29, and now it'll be fine. Alright, so we finally have a resolution that it'll approve of. So that's done. We have it square pixels, that's fine. We're going to select render at maximum depth because we want it to be the highest quality possible. The drawback of this is that it'll take longer for your video to finish publishing. So if you do have a slow computer and you just might not want to go through that, then you can always just uncheck that. I'm going to select variable 2pass instead of 1pass. Again, 2pass will scan over the video twice, and it will create a higher quality video, but it'll also take longer in doing this. I'm just going to increase the bit rate to, let's see here, let's make it, I like to keep it around 20 too. Again, I'd recommend doing your own research as to what frame rate you would like for your video. The only thing to keep in mind is that YouTube, I believe, only allows a bit rate of 13 or 14 max. We're gonna uncheck keyframe distance, and we're gonna select use maximum render quality because again it'll produce a higher quality video. And we don't have any audio for this, so we should just be able to disable it. I don't know if you can just disable it even. Audio quality low. Alright, well, you can't just disable the audio, so we're just going to leave it as it is. I think that's correct though, right? Alright, so now we're ready to publish the video. We just need to go and select the place to actually save this video. So we're going to save it to the Timelapse folder. We're going to name it Mall Timelapse. Select save. We can also save this preset for later if you don't want to go through all the guesswork like I had to with the width and height and see what Premiere will allow. This, yeah. Alright, and this all looks good here. Again, if this doesn't look right at this point, make sure to change the source scaling to what does work. So scale to fit seems to be appropriate for this, and this seems to be the work area we want, and it's good to go. So we're going to queue the video or export it. Again, if you export the video, that means you can't work on another video in the process. If you queue the video, that means it'll open up into Adobe Media Encoder, and then from here you can just select the file and hit play. You don't need to select it, I don't think. You can just hit play. And as you can see, it's starting to now produce our video. It looks like there is quite a bit of time remaining. It might take a little bit. In order to save some time here, I've already published this video without the credits, however, so you'll just have to imagine that the credits are there in this case. So the video should look like this. And there you have it. So that's how you produce a time-lapse video. Also, once you upload it to YouTube, it will still have this. So if you go here, this is the video, I already have it open. If we play our video, as you can see on YouTube, there's different settings. So this is 1080p, we can increase it all the way up to 4K. And it'll look a little bit sharper at 4K clearly. If you had, oh, still at 1080p here. I was wondering why it didn't look as sharp as it could. So here we go. It's not going to play back very quickly, but it's nice to just have that option on YouTube anyhow, because some people might have a monitor and a computer and an internet speed and all that stuff that can enjoy this. So there's no harm in having a higher video quality. People can always reduce it if they like to anyway. And that's about it. So I hope this video helps. Stay tuned for more videos in the future. Again, I hope to actually get a 1080p monitor soon so that when I upload these videos to YouTube later, it'll be a higher quality than what it is now. And that's about it. So thanks for checking out the video. Hero Greg signing off, and thanks for watching.